Hello and welcome back once again to Dental Basics. I'm Dr. Parvati Raghavan. In this video, we are going to do an outline of what oral precancer is. It covers precancerous conditions and lesions very briefly. The term precancerous or premalignant means a condition which has the potential to progress into cancer. Potential means that it is possible that these cells are more likely to change into cancer in the future. In a precancerous condition, the oral mucosa is altered in general such that it has an increased risk of developing into cancer. A precancerous lesion is a localized area of oral tissue which contains dysplastic, that is deformed cells, which means that the size, shape and structure of the cells are not normal, and these cells are more likely to become cancerous. It is important for us to be able to detect oral precancer because the prognosis of treatment is better than that of a cancerous condition. We will start with the names of the conditions and lesions covered in this video. Oral submucous fibrosis, Plummer-Vinson syndrome or Patterson-Kelly syndrome, also called as sideropenic dysphagia, syphilitic glossitis, AIDS, xeroderma pigmentosum, leukoplakia, erythroplakia, erosive lichen planus, Bowen's disease, dyskeratosis congenita, discoid lupus erythematosus, and stomatitis nicotina. I will be posting detailed videos about many of these lesions and conditions. So let's start. Leukoplakia. Leuko means white and plakia means patch. This lesion cannot be rubbed off and it may be due to repeated injury or irritation such as due to tobacco, etc. It can also be a sign of precancerous changes in the oral cavity. It could be speckled with a number of small spots or patches of color or non-speckled. The speckled lesions are also called as erythroleukoplakia because they are a mixture of red and white patches. Speckled lesions in the floor of the mouth should be biopsied to check for precancerous changes. Next is erythroplakia, red patch, maybe due to tobacco abuse. Erythroplakia is a persistent velvety red patch. Any lesion that persists for more than 14 days, even after removal of local causes and infection, is a potentially serious lesion requiring immediate biopsy to check for presence of cancerous cells. Erosive lichen planus. This is a chronic and painful condition caused by an overactive immune system leading to autoimmune damage to the basal cell layer. It affects the oral cavity, esophagus, and anogenital regions. The lesions here are in the form of painful ulcers that persist for weeks or longer, and they are present inside the cheek, on the sides of the tongue, on the gums, or inside the lips. Lesions are large, irregular with Wickham's striae, which are white lacy lines found at the edge of the lesion. Bowen's disease is easily treatable. It is a very early form of skin cancer. The main sign is a red, scaly, plaque-like lesion on the skin. It is often seen in individuals who have ingested arsenic either by accident or taken arsenic as an alternative medicine course for a very long time, or in areas of skin exposed to sun. Histologically, dyskeratotic, that is abnormal keratinization, are seen in all layers of the epithelium of the skin from the top to the bottom. But the basement membrane is intact. Due to this, it is sometimes called as squamous cell carcinoma in situ, confined to the outer layer of the skin, not invading the deeper layers. In situ means on site or confined to the epithelium. You can remember it by thinking that it is just sitting in one place. Carcinoma in situ is the earliest stage of cancer and is considered non-invasive, but it has the potential to later spread into normal tissue and become cancerous. Oral lesions in Bowen's disease are rare and appear as red or white patches or papilloma. Histologically, dysplastic cells can be seen in all layers of the oral epithelium, which leads to intraepithelial carcinoma formed within the epithelial cell layer with basement membrane being intact. These are the dysplastic cells, carcinoma in situ, basement membrane is intact. Oral submucous fibrosis. It occurs in India and a few of the neighboring countries. It is an autoimmune condition and thought to be due to spices, betel nut, and tobacco chewing. Patient comes with burning sensation in the mouth. Clinically, you can see formation of fibrous bands in the oral epithelium which restrict movement of tongue and make lips and cheek immobile, resulting in trismus. Trismus means muscles of the jaw become contracted, leading to inability or limited mouth opening. Histologically, it is associated with juxta, that means near the epithelium, inflammatory reaction followed by fibroelastic changes of the lamina propria leading to epithelial atrophy. Here we have the normal oral epithelium and this is the epithelium in OSMF. Epithelial atrophy, lamina propria, and fibrosis of submucosa which progresses slowly. Before progressing further, let us do a quick recap. In erosive lichen planus, there is damage to the basal cell layer. In Bowen's disease, the basement membrane is intact. It is also intact in carcinoma in situ. Oral submucous fibrosis shows epithelial atrophy, changes in lamina propria, and fibrosis of submucosa. Next condition is syphilis. We have studied about syphilis in general pathology and we know that it presents with numerous oral manifestations in primary, secondary, and tertiary stages. It is caused by bacteria Treponema pallidum and is a sexually transmitted infection. The tertiary stage can cause diffuse glossitis and atrophy of the filiform and fungiform papillae of the tongue. This is termed as syphilitic glossitis or atrophic glossitis, and this can be malignant. It is thought to be due to obliterative endarteritis. Small arterial vessels show concentric proliferation of fibroblasts and endothelial cells which cause thickening, leading to obstruction of small arterial vessels. This reduces blood circulation to the superficial areas of the tongue, leading to atrophy. This is the cross-section of a normal artery and you can see that in the center the lumen is pretty big. This is the cross-section in atrophic glossitis. And you can see that the lumen has been narrowed because of proliferation of fibroblast and endothelial cells. AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, caused by human immunodeficiency virus, transmitted through sexual contact, exposure to HIV-infected blood and blood products, HIV-infected mother to child, and this can happen before, during, or shortly after birth. In AIDS, hairy leukoplakia that occurs in the tongue has the potential to turn malignant. Discoid lupus erythematosus. It is an autoimmune skin condition and is seen as red inflamed coin-shaped patch with scaling and crusty appearance, most often seen on the scalp, cheeks, and ears. The oral lesions are circumscribed, that means that it is confined to a limited area, slightly elevated, and occur on the buccal mucosa, gingiva, and vermilion border of the lip. They appear in the form of white patches surrounded by a red halo from which delicate white lines radiate. They can also appear in the form of central atrophic area with white dots that are bordered with parallel lines of striae. Plummer-Vinson syndrome is also known as Patterson-Brown-Kelly syndrome. Plummer-Vinson syndrome is named after two American doctors, and it is called as Patterson-Brown-Kelly syndrome in UK. It is caused due to chronic iron deficiency anemia and is more common in middle-aged women. It is characterized by a classic triad of dysphagia, iron deficiency anemia, and esophageal web, which is a web-like growth of membranes in the throat, and it makes swallowing difficult. These people have an increased risk of developing squamous cell carcinoma of the pharynx and proximal esophagus. Stomatitis nicotina or smoker's keratosis, it's a very commonly observed condition in smokers. Painless and caused by extreme chronic heat along with chemical irritation from tobacco smoking and usually due to pipe or cigar smoking. It is seen as red spots against white hyperkeratosis on the hard palate posterior to the rugae and in front of the soft palate. Here you can see red inflammatory swelling of minor mucous glands. These lesions can reverse to normal epithelium on cessation of smoking, that is when the individual stops smoking. Now some people put the burning end of the cigarette inside their mouth. This is called as reverse smoking and has malignant potential. This is prevalent in coastal areas of India like Vishakhapatnam and Srikakulam in Andhra Pradesh, America and Europe. Reverse smoking allows smokers to continue smoking in areas or professions which are exposed to a lot of winds or water sprays. Stomatitis nicotina, along with leukoplakia on the palate in reverse smokers, show high frequency of dysplastic epithelium which may progress to carcinoma of the palate. Xeroderma pigmentosum is a genetically inherited skin condition. It is more commonly seen in Japan, North Africa, and Middle East. It is due to a defect in the DNA's repair mechanism to the damaging effect of UV light. When we think about UV light, we think about only the sun. But these individuals are extra sensitive to all sources of UV light, the sun, unshielded fluorescent light bulbs, mercury vapor lamps, and halogen light bulbs. People with XP have a 10,000-fold increased risk for developing skin cancer including basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and melanoma. In the oral cavity, neoplasms are specifically squamous cell carcinoma of the tip of the tongue, which is a non-pigmented and sun-exposed area. There is no cure for Xeroderma pigmentosum. Dyskeratosis congenita. Dyskeratosis means abnormal keratinization and congenita means present since birth. It is a recessively inherited disorder and is seen exclusively in males. Clinical triad of oral leukoplakia of the tongue in cheek, reticular skin pigmentation, where there is hyperpigmentation of the face, neck, and thorax, and abnormal nails can be seen. This is also known as Zinsser-Engelmann-Kohl syndrome. DC is associated with leukemia and lymphomas. This condition also shows oral lesions. Oral lesions start early in childhood before the age of 10 and they are seen in the form of vesicles necrotic mucosa. This is followed by ulceration and erythroplakic changes. By the time these children become young adults, these lesions have a high potential of changing into oral cancer. DC is caused by mutation in a gene that provides instructions for making proteins that help maintain telomeres. This finishes the brief outline of all the oral precancerous lesion and conditions which I had listed before. But I would like you to continue watching to know a little bit more about telomeres because it's very interesting. Telomeres are the specialized repetitive DNA sequences at the end of the linear chromosomes, and they serve to maintain the integrity of the chromosome. In humans, the telomere sequence is TTAGGG. In this image, you can see the yellowish areas on the top and then the bottom of the chromosome like cap and socks. These are telomeres. Each time a cell divides, the telomeres become shorter. Eventually, they become so short that the cell cannot divide, and this is normal. Telomere length shortens with age and acts as the aging clock in every cell. By the time we reach the age of 40, telomeres could have lost up to 1,600 base pairs. In dyskeratosis congenita, which we just read about, there's mutation in the gene that provides instructions for making proteins that help maintain these telomeres. In normal individuals, apart from age-related shortening, other factors that are associated with shortening of telomeres are smoking, obesity, psychological stress, low physical activity levels, unhealthy diet, and even exposure to a lot of pollution. Finishing this video with a positive note that to preserve telomeres and reduce cancer risk and pace of aging, we may all want to eat healthy, stay lean, active, and stress-free through regular exercise and meditation. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and share.